there was a man who wanted to be a great hunter. He bought 2 pedigreed setters that he trained to be fine bird dogs. He kept them in his backyard. One morning, the man saw a bulldog trotting down the alley behind his home. The bulldog saw the 2 pedigreed setters and crawled under the fence. The man thought he should lock up his 2 setters so he wouldn't hurt the little dog, but he decided not to. He said they'd teach that bulldog a lesson. As he predicted, fur began to fly and all of it was from the bulldog. Pretty soon the bulldog had enough and crawled back under the fence to get away. To the hunter's surprise, the bulldog returned the next morning. The hunter's like, "Man, that bulldog crazy." The bulldog crawled under the fence and once again took on the tag team of setters. The bulldog fought his little heart out, but when he left, he was limping and sucking air. Now, I don't know how many of you have asthma. When you have an asthma attack and you're short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, and you wheezing, the only thing that you are trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care who's calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing that you care about is getting some air. You need to get to the point that you want it as bad as you want to breathe. Most of you want it, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as bad as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want it as bad as you want to sleep. You got to be willing to work off of 2 to 3 hours of sleep. If you really want it, sometimes you're going to have to be willing to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you may miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you gotta want it. I never forget when Brian Tracy was doing his movie. I did a little research on B-Trace, and B-Trace said that when he wasn't doing the movie, he was doing the soundtrack. And they said, "When do you sleep, B-Trace?" He said, "Sleep? Sleep is for those people who are broke." I don't sleep because I have the opportunity to be successful. Now the hunter left early next morning on a business trip, returned after several weeks, and he asked his wife what finally became of the bulldog. She said, "You won't believe it. At the same time, every day that little dog came into his backyard and fought with our setters. He never missed a day. It has come to the point that when our setters simply hear him snorting down the alley, they start whining and turn down to the basement. Then that little bulldog struts around our backyard as if he owns it."
Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what.